Every year, Halloween comes and passes, and although I begin to decorate and celebrate around Labor Day, I never seem to get enough horror. I wanted to share with you all what I think are the top 5 best horror Christmas films that include the best of both holidays. This is the first narrative video I've done in a long time, and I really hope you guys are going to enjoy it. Welcome to Honest Pop Culture Reviews. Like, share, and subscribe, and perhaps we can get more of these videos going during my large amount of free time I now have. Also, a special non-paid endorsement for HalloweenCostumes.com and the amazing ugly sweater of Freddy vs. Jason that I get to sport twice a year now. Consider the next 5 films Jackie K endorsed for either a decent story, glorified gore, or walking the fine line for Christmas cheer and horror. Number 5, 2015's Better Watch Out. Considering the marketing material, it would seem that Better Watch Out would be the perfect little horror movie to watch on the holidays, but it's a tad misleading. Aside from the house being decked out in Christmas decorations and a slight bit of tension with a Christmas ornament falling outside at one point during an inopportune moment, it doesn't live up to the Christmas season. This is disappointing, but not terrible because the film still delivers tricks and treats, which is why it gets number 5 on the list. When you press play, you'll think you're just watching a babysitter home invasion film, reminiscent of the great urban legends, and while even poking fun at Halloween and Scream, some of the greatest in the slasher genre. In one moment, you have our protagonist, Ashley, asking the perp outside how many fingers she's holding up. It's the bird, she's holding up the bird. Another, you have her and the babysat, Luke, a 12-year-old who has a major hard-on for his babysitter who's about 5 years older than him, cowering in a closet. But then things change from a typical home intruder film. I don't want to get into spoiler territory because this is a great film, because you should most definitely give it a watch, but the movie's scary for the reasons you don't expect. Give it a watch if you want to get into a more deep down symbolism and allegory to some of the greats of Saw, Home Alone, and even Psycho. Check out my original blog in the link below in the bio. It's a great film for all of winter, not just Christmas. Number 4, Child's Play 1988 and 2019. Yes, I'm giving you a double feature for number 4, but for some really great reasons. Although Andy gets Chucky for his birthday and not necessarily Christmas, in the remake his birthday seems to be during the month of December. And the revolving fear of consumerism is perfect for the fear of holidays. Now, truthfully, I haven't watched Child's Play 1988 in a hot minute, but of course I'm partial to Brad Dourif and The Cult of Chucky, Curse of Chucky, and Bride of Chucky. But we don't really need to get into the details of the original Child's Play. We all know 30 years ago, a mass murderer transposes himself into a doll toy. A doll toy then gets sold in the back alley to a single mom who's trying to just make her son's birthday a happy one. Commence the bloodbath of a yardstick tall doll and some Freddy-level sequel cheese. But the 2019 remake, I'm not saying it was needed. I'm not saying it was good. I'm not saying if it was better or worse, but what I am saying is that in some alternate universe, it's actually a decent Chucky film. Mark Hamill, cohort to Han Solo himself, wink, voices the artificial intelligence now. What's interesting in this rendition is that he's like a little servant that can link up to all the devices in your house. If your TV was connected to Alexa, and Alexa was the size of a small child that could walk around the house with you and hand you your needed school bucks. It's strange. Strange, but good. Because the climax of the film is so much better than just a doll attacking a family in a home. Spoilers ahead, without really ruining anything. Chucky ends up at a department store where Andy's mom works, and he syncs up with all the other Caslin products, TVs, droids, and the other good guy dolls of the second coming, now in more colors, and a bear. And this all seems to happen in a similar Jingle All the Way toy craze deployment before Christmas. The fact that this AI doll can tap into TVs and drones to pretty much have an entire department store attack at least like 40 people is a commentary in itself. Child's Play 2019 just delivers an amazing horror movie climax, and I mean the amount of blood and gore you see in this 15-minute scene is brilliant and screams Christmas. Give the Chuckies a double feature this year. Number 3, Gremlins, 1984. Oh man, here we go. Honestly, I had trouble sorting the next 3 films. Where or should they be in this list, but I think Gremlins fits into a solid 3 spots. Here's the thing about Gremlins. It's 100% a Christmas movie, but it's only rated PG, although it did come out during the cusp of 1984's Poltergeist, where the rating board realized they needed something between PG and rated R, which is when PG-13 blossomed into existence. And that was right around the same time. It's a Christmas horror movie for all the horror parents out there who want to give their kid a nice little gothic push. The Addams Family can also be a nice Christmas starter goth film as well, but we're here to talk about those fuzzy little furballs that will literally rain hell if you feed them after midnight. Gremlins is that perfect film for you to enjoy with the whole family. It has that terrible urban legend that turns out to be true with the dead dad in the chimney. It has fight scenes. It has brutal blood. It has exploding gremlins from being microwaved and blended. Oh, youth of my childhood. And it all takes place during Christmas. And its symbolism, oh boy, is one of the most important messages viewers and families could ever see. Cute pets do not make for a good last-minute present for your shithead kid who can't handle adult responsibilities. Okay, I'm gonna just say it. There it is. Pets are a lifetime responsibility and should be treated as part of the family. They're not gifts, and please don't think that they are. Do not get one if it's just going to end up in a shelter. And I'm sorry, that's my little soapbox on Gremlins. Next is number 2, Krampus, 2015. Krampus. Krampus! Holy crap, now this is a fun Christmas film. Not only does it have good production value, great casting, believable characters, which is kind of important under these circumstances of the anti-Santa Claus German urban legend of Krampus. Now this film, in the number 1 spot, they're my go-to when it comes to having a spirit while wrapping some Christmas gifts, and there's good reason for it. It has laughs, gore, clever Christmas-related deaths, which is what you go to these films for, and it just delivers. Plus, any film with Toni Collette and Adam Scott in it are winners in my book. I mean, Toni, please. I love you. Fright Night, Hereditary, and Velvet Buzzsaw. She is a force to be reckoned with. Toni Collette, I wish I were you. For those of you who don't know the legend of Krampus, A, have you been living under a rock? And B, here is a quick summary of the movie for you. When his dysfunctional family clashes over the holidays, young Max gets disillusioned and turns his back on Christmas. Meanwhile, the lack of festive spirit unleashes the wrath of Krampus, a demonic force of ancient evil intent on punishing non-believers. All hell breaks loose as beloved holiday icons take on a monstrous life of their own, laying siege to the fractured family's home and forcing them to fight one another if they hope to survive. It's another fun one! And isn't Christmas all about fun? Watch it. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Honorable mentions. Really quickly here, I have a few shout outs I want to give out to a few other films before we get to our number 1 Jackie K endorsed horror film. 3 films that I've all watched, but they haven't really stuck well, but if you run out of Christmas favorites, hey, you can give them a shot. They're not my favorites. Those 3 slasher films are Red Christmas, Black Christmas, the original of course, and All Through the House, Lastly, a very loving honorable mention to obviously A Nightmare Before Christmas, for all very obvious reasons. Number 1, A Christmas Horror Story, 2015. Number 1 on our very first Honest Pop Culture review list is, of all things, an anthology. A Christmas Horror Story just makes it work. Somehow it's the most cohesive anthology film I've ever had the chance of watching, and I've watched it every year since 2015. I'm pretty sure I bought it on Amazon Prime at this point because I need to watch it every year when I'm drinking and wrapping Christmas gifts. It's that essential to me. Now, here's the thing about this film. It isn't a good movie, but it is good at what it sets out to deliver. I wouldn't necessarily call it a good, bad horror movie, but like it kind of is. So whatever, let's just call a spade a spade. It tells the tale of 4 different stories. Story 1 is based around a creepy urban legend of a particular town. A couple of teenagers get locked in a basement of what could have been an old asylum, maybe a school? I'm hazy on the details. The Christmas part comes in with an old manger scene and props from the school play. So I'm assuming it's an old part of the school. That's what I'm gonna say. Part 2, based on another old wives' tale, The Changeling, where the kid gets swapped out while the family's out shopping, well, out illegally in a forest chopping down a Christmas tree. The changeling swaps out for the other kid. I don't like this one as much because the changeling tries to have sex with his mom. That's just a little too Oedipus for me. I don't like that. It's my least favorite. Oh well. Story number 3 takes us to see an old stingy aunt that lives in the middle of a forest, very secluded. Her greasy nephew comes out with his family to pretty much beg for money. And, because he can't provide for his family. It's all very allegory of middle class today. It's fine. Anyways, the old broad turns it down, sends him away. But it turns into an eventual Krampus tale. It's hilarious. It's great. I really enjoy the feminine empowerment in that one. Finally, the 4th story brings the entire story together with a Santa Claus and that has to begin killing his worker elves because they became zombies and are terrorizing the North Pole. Whew, boy, it's a doozy, and I think it's why I come back every year, honestly. It's so good. It's why I love the film. Perk points, William Shatner is also featured in the film, tying all 4 films together as a radio DJ on Christmas Eve. It's fun. It's a good one. This December, we do have a Friday the 13th, so maybe pick out one of these bad boys to watch. If you liked this list, please help my new channel by liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting on what you thought, what I could have done better. Maybe my enunciation was a little off. I've recorded this a few times now. I might be a little raspy. I did it on my phone. Obviously, I need a better webcam. All things to be purchased someday in the future, perhaps. Thanks for visiting, and come back for more honest pop culture reviews and lists in the future. I'm your host, Jackie K, keeping pop culture honest.